think partially it's Facebook. It's trying to start. Okay. We're started.
Is that all right? Looking for a motion to accept the low bid.
Motion to accept the low bid of Schmidt.
Motion and second to accept the low bid for the Cherry Avenue Storm Sewer Project from Schmidt Construction. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, next up on the listing here is the Fifth Street Water Main Replacement Project. The surveying is completed. We'll be working on design as kind of the next step there. Maybe as soon as this week. So we'll be working on that and working with Dave on the kind of getting all the details and everything lined up on that. And again, we'll remember that this isn't one that's going to bid right away. This is on a little different kind of a schedule here. So this is about getting that design ready to go. But we've got kind of a hold point here where it's not proceeding to bidding and construction.
This is the one we were waiting on funding, correct? To see what was, we were eligible for funding.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. So that's Fifth Street Water Main Replacement Project. And speaking of funding, the other item we were talking about last month was getting everything all kind of together and submitted for the Minnesota Department of Health, MDH, Drinking Water Revolving Fund, DWRF, Project Priority List, PPL. Getting all the acronyms in here. So kind of getting all of that submitted. The application was submitted on time. There's a number of projects, those are listed there. The water treatment plant filter media project, that's sort of a carryover from before. This Fifth Street Water Main project, call that phase one on the map here of what all was submitted. And then cast iron water main replacement, that's split into 3 different phases on there. That's just for the sake of having some kind of division to that and having somewhat reasonable project sizes that kind of fit in with the funding agency's kind of picture, that sort of thing. And also 3 phases of lead service line replacement projects. The first phase of that is one that addresses service lines where the public portion from the main to the curb stop is not lead. It's known to be something that is not lead and does not need replacement. But the portion from the curb stop into the building is known to need replacement. So those are, I think it's like a half a dozen of those are kind of scattered throughout the city. Not necessarily one that would be associated with a corresponding water main replacement project. So that's that first batch. And the funding that's currently available, or that has been available for projects submitted last year for that sort of project, is 100% grant funding from the state. So it's a tremendous opportunity for those property owners to get that part taken care of without having, some significant bill. Now, the city has to wear the catcher's mitt. You have to be the ones to catch the money from the state and get the contractor paid and all of that.
So refresh my memory, how does that look for the homeowner? What did they have to do? Is there an application they submit to the city?
That's
to
a
be
great,
included in that, or?
yeah, that's a great question. So I think the way that we would put that together is step one, there's an ordinance that the city will need to put into place to essentially allow the city's contractor to perform this work on private property. And then there'd be a step where those property owners should opt in to that. And so that's like next year kind of a thing. Once the
I just want to make sure
funding is
we
in
don't
place.
drop the ball on anything and that we don't let the community know that if they're eligible
For
as a
sure.
property owner.
Yep. Yeah. So really, step one is this application for funding for the project, and then once that comes in, then I think it's time to really get serious about it, getting the ball rolling on those. So that's phase one of lead service line replacement. Phases 2 and 3 on there, those are ones where there's service line replacement that's needed on the private property, but it goes with a water main replacement project. There were two of those on what's shown in this kind of phase 2 project area, and then two that are in that phase 4 project area. So those are only called out separately because for funding they have to be. They have their own special pots of money for that. So those really go in conjunction with those water main projects, is the idea.
And that's what those lines, these are about, is defining the phases